We are off to a flying start here in Season 25. The Majors Division 1 race is going to be an absolute cracker, and it already has produced some very interesting situations. Reykjavik, after barely staving off relegation last season, are already on a bit of a hot start. On the other end, União Sao Paulo, despite dominating the league, or at least being in the upper echelons, have lost both of their first two matches. They'll look to turn it around against newly promoted Catalunya later on today. Later on also is Hollywood taking on Shanghai. That should be an absolute monumental clash between two title hopefuls. But first off, it is Reykjavik taking on Jalaju Cosmico. Reykjavik, as I said, just barely able to stay up last season, will be facing a team that stormed Division 2 last year. Going to be very interesting to see how these teams match up. There you see Reykjavik with a win and a draw from both of their first two matches. Meanwhile, Cosmico with a win and a loss. It's about these teams on relatively equal standings footing. There you see two teams on 4, 3 on 3, and then Sao Paulo still on 0. Still very early to try and call which way this division will go, but certainly a very telling first couple of games this, as we are underway here. And apologies for the similarities in kits. We're going to do our best to try and keep them straight for you. Reykjavik in the green, Cosmico in the teal. And it is going to be a Reykjavik corner kick going left to right, Reykjavik, as that shot by Trey Quartista goes right into the goal. Well, it came off of a corner from Tentacles here. Neymarinho with the great pass and Quartista all alone. And you can't give a finisher with the quality of Quartista that much space. It is 1-0 to Reykjavik. Now Rashford with the free kick wins another corner. Reykjavik on the attack early. Neymarinho again lurking at the edge of the box. Does get found. Again trying to find Quartista, but this time Priskin was in the way and won another corner kick. So we'll try again. The Aurora sending the ball in, up in the air. Chambers. Tentacles again, puts the cross in. Back to Quartista, who takes the shot, and that one fizzes wide. An absolute barrage in the early going from Reykjavik. Now it's another free kick for Rashford. Delivers it, and a good save there. Mobek had to react quickly to the bend of that ball, but was able to push it behind. Reykjavik still with the pressure. Again Neymarinho, again Quartista. This time Mobek again able to save. Reykjavik really pouring it on, not wanting to give Jalaju any sniff of the ball even. Header battle ultimately sent away, and we reset. Tentacles up into the air, headed away. Neymarinho to the end line. Cross goes in, and that shot tipped over. Remember, Cosmico, the reigning Division 2 champions, but also the SSL Cup and SSL Shield champions. So, a short time in the league, relatively speaking, but already very successful, this club. Could have what it takes to stick with the heavy hitters of Division 1. Remains to be seen, but right now under a lot of pressure from Reykjavik. Haven't even gotten a shot off yet. Chambers, former Tokyo player, sending it to Skavgard. Trying to cross in, but sent back out wide. Interception there. Warwick winning the ball, and now the counter is on. Here's Emerson. Cuts inside, shoots, and that's right at Fiery Chicken. First real opportunity Cosmico have had all day. And it came right in the middle of the first half, as here comes Tentacles for Reykjavik. Cross goes in, far post, and Mobek pulling behind. Near post, up in the air. And Moretti clearing it. Derbatov trying to recycle possession here. Cosmico trying to regain their defensive shape, but immediately cut through. Here's Shaheen. Gets around Mizukana almost. Cuts it back, and that shot from Derbatov not far wide. Right now, Reykjavik looking likelier to make it 2-0 than for Cosmico to equalize, as here's Mitadero. And Emerson able to clear that, but Reykjavik still in possession. Derbatov back to it. Now Chambers. Good challenge from Warwick to knock that ball free, and Terrell gaining possession for Jalayu. At like 2%. Inside for Emerson. Mizukana. Chevalier takes the shot, and Fiery Chicken able to hold on. Intermittent chances from Jalayu. Not quite enough to be a threat yet, but starting to build a little momentum as that shot pushed wide for another corner kick. Just past the 30-minute mark, Reykjavik in the ascendancy as that one goes near post and is sent away. Time winding down here in the first half. 2 minutes of added time still to play, as it's a goal kick for Reykjavik. Don't have much time to get it up the other end, but it is intercepted by Terrell, who takes the shot, and that is off the mark. So that's how it stands at the half. Reykjavik with that quick goal from Trey Quartista, and have been pretty much dominant ever since. 1-0 the score at the half. And you see the XG, 1.61 to just 0.24 for Cosmico. Reykjavik with a lot of chances, but haven't been able to put too many on target, and certainly only the one in the net. Are Cosmico going to be able to make a tactical adjustment to try and relieve some of this pressure? Or are we going to continue to see Reykjavik press home their advantage and potentially widen this lead? We'll have to find out in the last 45. This time it is Cosmico who kick us off, going left to right. At like 2%, dribbling through the middle, and Chambers clears. Certainly be an important win for either side. Again, Reykjavik had to stave off relegation. It came down to the wire last season, and matches like this are ultimately what helped them stay up. Although that challenge from Kunicki, winning the ball, but not for long. But Reykjavik ultimately coming in clutch when they needed to stay up. Meanwhile, Cosmico absolutely stomping the second division, as that shot, well, that certainly was one of the shots of all time, let's put it that way. The Cosmico dominating the second division in a bit of a sterner situation here as they face heightened opposition in this new division. Going to have to be on the top of their game, and right now they are still very much being run circles around by Reykjavik. Harkening back to the days of the mid-teens where Reykjavik were absolutely dominant. As Tentacles. And that shot from Derbatov once again missing the mark. Older SSL users will remember a time when Reykjavik were the unquestioned masters of the SSL, absolutely unstoppable, winning several championships. They've fallen on harder times in recent years, but this performance is really bringing us back to that era as there's Cortista in behind, and it's a corner kick and another dangerous chance for Reykjavik there. Tentacles to deliver the corner. Goes back to Skavgard. Skavgard again, cross goes in, and Mobek able to claim that before it causes too much trouble. Well, you have to give credit to Cosmico for keeping Reykjavik out apart from that opening goal, but still find themselves in a hole here as here's Kunicki who's picked up a knock, and that shot from Kori Mizukana just leveled it. Well, it didn't look like it was going in. It was a bit of a grass cutter. Let's see that again. Ball worked. Kunicki, Mizukana just firing it from a long way out. It just skids past Chicken. I'm not sure how that got in, but I don't think Cosmico are going to complain about an equalizer. It is 1-1 with less than 15 to play. How will Reykjavik respond? Here comes Skavgard. Skavgard crosses, and it falls to Mikko Rashford II. Well, I asked how they'd respond, and that is our answer. An immediate reply from Reykjavik United re-establishes their lead. Skavgard did really well to get ahead of Moretti just enough to launch that cross in. And from that distance, that position, it was academic for Rashford. Cosmico find themselves in a familiar situation. Right back to being 1 goal down, this time with less time on the clock, less than 10 minutes to be exact. So now they once again have to ask where they are going to get an equalizer from. Chambers passing back. Chicken sending it long. Rashford. Shaheen works it to Neymarinho, and Neymarinho hits the post. Well, that could have been a real dagger for Reykjavik. If that had gone in, that would have made it 3-1 with very little time remaining. As it stands, a missed opportunity. Will Neymarinho come to regret that? We'll have to see. Mizukana losing out on that. Mitidiero brings it the other way. Takes the touch. Cuts it back, and that shot from Dimitar Derbatov. Well, that time they didn't let the opportunity go to waste. And that might be the separation they need to lock up the 3 points here. Mitidiero with a great pass back, and Derbatov fires it through that crowd of people in the 6-yard box. Not entirely sure how it made it through, but make it through it did. And Reykjavik with a 2-goal lead in the dying minutes of this match. Now Cosmico in a world of trouble. Needs something basically now. Here's Kunicki. Low cross. Sent back. Mizukana. Terrell takes the shot, and they've got it. Well, they needed a lifeline, and Remy Terrell may have just given them one. It was a quick break. Chambers cleared it, but Warwick was able to get to it. Mizukana hit the first-time pass, and Terrell in the perfect spot to finish that. And now it is 3-2 with only minutes remaining. 4 minutes of added time. Cosmico have a chance to equalize this at the last gasp. But here come Reykjavik. Cortista. A lot of speed taken off of that, and Mobek holds onto it. Long ball from Mobek. Minute and a half left. Shaheen passes forward. Cortista. Now Skavgard. Derbatov. To Mikko Rashford the second. And that could be game, set, and match, depending on how VAR rules. Question of offside. The goal will stand, and Reykjavik have just locked up, I believe, the 3 points from this match. There's a great cross by Derbatov. Rashford again in plenty of space for the second goal of the day. Let's look at this again just to confirm, and indeed, you see there Rashford is onside, no question about it. And that is going to do it for this match, most likely. Cosmico surely out of time as that cross lands in the arms of Fiery Chicken. The long ball. Reykjavik going for another one, it looks like. Neymarinho brought down. So it will be a free kick, but we won't have time to take it because Reykjavik United walk away with the 3 points at Lake Valerin. Well, after that early goal from Cortista, it seemed like it was going to be a sequence of missed opportunities for Reykjavik. Then Jalayu got the equalizer, but then an immediate response from Reykjavik kicked off that madcap final stretch of the match. A very exciting conclusion to this one. Mikko Rashford II with a brace, your player of the match. And Reykjavik certainly appreciating his contributions today. A valiant effort from Cosmico, but it wasn't enough. Simply didn't have enough opportunities, and Reykjavik will win this match 4-2. Next up, it is União Sao Paulo against CF Catalunya. Sao Paulo, as I mentioned at the start of this broadcast, losing both of their first two matches. Meanwhile, Catalunya looking to try and solidify their status in the first division early on in this season. It's a surprise for Sao Paulo, as we know how dominant they can be on their day, but certainly they'll be looking at this match and seeing it as an opportunity to rebound. Catalunya, with a win from their first two, are up against it. It has to be said. We know the quality Sao Paulo have as we get corner goes in. Salazar. Jenkins. Detrella. Loses out to Nelson. Now Nelson bringing it the other way for Sao Paulo. Mulder takes the shot. And that is going to be a corner kick. And that shot goes just over the bar. Jenkins. Bot finding Salazar. Cross goes back into Jenkins. and losing out to DeGroot. Bought back in, though. Here's the shot from Flekoko, and that's pushed behind for a corner kick. Dijeron with the corner for Catalunya. Fry takes the shot, but that ends up in the stands. I can't imagine these Sao Paulo fans are going to be too keen to hold on to that ball. Cotswold with the throw-in for Sao Paulo. Crosses over to Hashimoto, who is blocked by Dijeron. Hashimoto tries again with a shot. Cross goes in, and DeGroot's header off target. Ahmed. That shot from Flekoko, held on to by Aguilera. Over the top for DeGroot. Bit of a dangerous sliding challenge in the box there, but referee says play on. Mulder. And Rubio goes down in the box. Again, the referee waves it off. Finding Peixoto, and that is blocked behind. You could hear the Sao Paulo fans booing at the decision not to give a penalty there. Looked like it might have been a shout there, but nevertheless, Kirkpatrick with the cross. And it's headed away, and now Flekoko trying to start something the other way. Onito and the pass offline. So Sao Paulo going to try again. Here's Cotswold. Gets to it first, but Jenkins disrupts it enough, although Cotswold with a shot. And it's another corner kick. Some good goalkeeping by Slothenberg, but Sao Paulo do still have the pressure on. Cotswold trying to pass it back. Fry would have put it in the net, but was offside. Well, that is a near miss for Catalunya. That ball was in the net, you saw. But it won't count. And so we are still 0-0. Fry up the other end. Dribbling into the box, takes the shot. That wasn't far over, but it was over. Aguilera sending that ball into the back line. Work to Cotswold, who is very much the beating heart of this Sao Paulo team, as that header from, I believe that was Mulder, was off target. Bit of an odd place to have a heart on your right flank, but nevertheless. Dijeron passes up the line to Fry, losing out to Hashimoto. And again, it bears repeating just how good these fullbacks have been for Sao Paulo. Here's DeGroot, takes the shot, and Slothenberg again able to keep that one out. An excellent performance from them in goal today as the corners continue to mount. We're approaching halftime. Sao Paulo have had the better of the match, but unable to make anything count as Mulder forces another save out of Slothenberg, who has been on fire today. Mulder can't get to it. Now here comes Fry. Flekoko out to Dijeron. And it's a corner kick for Catalunya just before the half. Fry takes the shot, and that's tipped behind by Aguilera. Fry. Headed away. Flekoko brings it into possession now. Catalunya looking to reset. Another corner kick. Fry to take. Sends it near post. Up into the air. De Groot gets to it. Bato nicks it off of De Groot. And Catalunya continuing to pile on pressure here. But that time, the pass deflected, and now Hashimoto bringing it the other way for Sao Paulo. Cross goes in. Headed in by De Groot, but again offline. Well, it looked fairly even to start this match, but Sao Paulo have had a lot more chances as the half has worn on, but still neither side able to put anything on the board. Cotswold losing out, but it's back to Aoi, who takes the shot, and another great save from Slothenberg. Cotswold delivering the corner kick again. This time headed away. So at halftime, Sao Paulo really starting to wake up toward the end of that first half, but still 0-0 as we go into the break. Look again at the XG, 1.45 to 0.59. Catalunya with a similar number of shots on target, or at least not that many fewer, but Sao Paulo, by and large, with the better quality shots. Looking the more likely to score, it has to be said. Still 45 minutes to play. Sao Paulo really wanting to get some points on the board. Losing their first two games has to be a bit of a mental block. Certainly they know they have the quality, and we know they have the quality, but Catalunya keeping them out admirably here. Cotswold sends that free kick over. Fry with the corner for Catalunya, finding Fuecoco on the edge of the area, takes the shot and absolutely hammers it. A flamethrower of a goal by Alejandro Fuecoco. Absolutely nobody thought to cover Fuecoco there. What a strike. And that puts Catalunya in the lead in the second half. And it'll be another corner kick for Catalunya as they try to ride this advantage, trying to press the momentum. Headed up and away. $15 minutes remaining. Sao Paulo needing to get something on the board. Kirkpatrick. And that shot just tipped behind. That could have been the moment, but instead it's another corner. Cotswold. The Groot sends it back, and Cotswold offside. Ahmed takes that free kick, and that wasn't far from the top corner. That would have been an incredible goal if it had gone in. Cotswold. And again, the free kick just barely misses. Lots of missed opportunities at either end, but you could argue they've hurt Sao Paulo more simply because they've had more of them. There's also the fact that they're losing that tends to not help much. But here's Hashimoto. Finds Cotswold to the end line. Back for Kirkpatrick. And now Roy wins the corner. Sao Paulo needs something here. Running out of time very quickly. Here's the group. Mulder. Shot. And another save from Slothenberg. How big has Slothenberg been today for Catalonia? As we have another corner. Cotswold. Cross goes in. Headed away. Mulder back to it. Another cross, and that one strays out of bounds. Time ticking down. Catalonia just trying to see this out. Sao Paulo trying to get something, anything on the board. Cotswold. Forward to De Groot. Hasn't really been able to do much today. Cross goes in, and that one held by Slothenberg. And another opportunity going begging for Sao Paulo. That's been the theme of this match. Here's Desjardins looking to try and slow things down. And that one nearly trickled in. It's another corner for Catalonia, who are going to take their time on this one as time ticks toward its conclusion. One more minute of added time. Desjardins in no hurry to take this. Near post, headed away. Fry again. Desjardins with that cross. Kawasaki just about keeping it in bounds. De Groot, though, with the interception. Seconds to go. And that one lumped up the pitch. It's going to be a deep throw for Catalonia, and this might be it. Desjardins. Fry. And that is the full-time whistle. Sao Paulo stunned by CF Catalonia at home as they lose 3 from their first 3. Well, Slothenberg absolutely deserved player of the match for Catalonia, but mention again has to go to that incredible goal from Fuecoco in the 60th minute that gave Catalonia their win. Questions now need to be asked of Sao Paulo. What is going wrong in Brazil? How have they lost their first 3 matches? This is a team that has been accustomed over the last few seasons to be in the upper echelons of the league, now finding themselves in a very early hole. Still plenty of time to turn it around, but it has to be panic stations. Meanwhile, Catalonia, and a famous victory, it has to be said, one that I don't think most people would have expected going into today. But Catalonia with the 1-0 victory. And Slothenberg, again, your player of the match and fully deserved. Now we move to our final match of the day. It will be Hollywood taking on Shanghai. Shanghai made a spirited attempt at the title last season, but ultimately fell short. Hollywood is the sort of side they will need to have good results against if they want to challenge again. Meanwhile, Hollywood, of course, we know their quality. We know what to expect from them, more or less, in terms of how well they play. This should be an absolutely fascinating match. As you see there, Sao Paulo on 0 points from 3 matches. Again, remember, with the extended schedule, each team will play 15 matches per season, not counting cups. But it's still a very worrying sign as we are underway here, and that shot was offside. Could have been a really strong opener for Hollywood. Del Vecchio tears it forward for Shanghai. Crosses back, and that one's deflected away. Now Johnson with the shot blocked. Long ball from the Hollywood keeper, Havavisen. Now Calderon. Albinson in pursuit, but Calderon able to get to the end line, puts the cross in, up in the air, and Takechi with no trouble. Mograine. And that one, once again, held by Takechi. No real opposition. Dobra. Skovgaard. McGrain gets to it. Cormier. Pass up the line, Calderon, and Martel can't get that down. De Soto up to Del Vecchio. Switching play here, McGrain up to Dia. Bunsen able to get to the ball first, though, on that loose touch. Voda. Now Jimathias. And again, running into opposition on that left wing. Dia with the slide challenge, and now Hollywood on the break. Here's Dobra. Gets inside, finding Martel, and Martel is offside. Cormier. Hafeweisen. Now here comes Calderon up the near wing. Cross goes in, and that's headed behind. Long ball from Takechi, headed down by the Hollywood defense. Now here's Kupinas. McGrain. Dobra takes the shot, but it's blocked immediately. Skovgaard. Now a long ball from Takechi. Some passing from Shanghai ultimately, though, falls to McGrain for Hollywood. And again, Hollywood pressing their advantage. Moth to Skovgaard. Now McGrain. Cuts it back. Skovgaard to Dia. And that is going to be a corner kick. McGrain standing over the corner here. Ultimately, nothing doing for Hollywood. Remember, both these teams were considered among the title contenders at the start of the season, as that header goes right at Takechi. So this match could be very telling in how the title race will ultimately land. Though again, it is only match day 3 out of 15, so still plenty of time either way. As we near halftime, neither side able to put anything on the board, but it is Hollywood who have had more of the chances and seem the likelier to score. One last corner kick before the half, and it's McGrain to stand over it. And that's headed wide, and it's tipped behind in another corner. So again, McGrain. Once again near post, and this time Takechi able to hold on. And that is going to do it for the first half. 0-0 here at the pitch, as Hollywood and Shanghai can't be separated so far. Hollywood with a bevy of chances, but unable to make any of them count. Meanwhile, Shanghai being utterly stymied for most of this match so far. Only one shot to their name at this point. Hollywood certainly looking the likelier to score, but we also saw how that worked out with Sao Paulo in the previous match. So Shanghai will fancy their chances of coming back and winning this. But it is halftime, 45 minutes gone, 45 minutes to play. And we are underway with the second half. Shanghai going right to left. And Albertson immediately losing out, but it's a corner kick. Moff sending it beyond the end line. Johnson to deliver the corner. And Lin flicks it on, but Walrusen holds on to it. Well, not much to report from this second half so far, but Shanghai still have had a few more shots starting to grow into this match, perhaps. Skovgaard with the corner for Hollywood at the other end. Back out to Kupanesh, and it deflects in by Marian Dobra. Well, it was a bit of a scramble, and VAR is going to look at it, but it will stand. We'll have to look at this again because that developed very quickly. Here's the corner from Skovgaard. It was back out there to Kupanesh. There was a bit of a ping around in the box, but it was Dobra who was able to put that in the net. So it is Hollywood 1, Shanghai 0. Shanghai might feel a little bit hard done by, especially since they were starting to build some momentum, but Hollywood, you have to argue, might have deserved it based on that first half performance. Now it's over the top for Dobra again, and this time it's a corner. Hollywood dominating that first half, but nothing to show for it. Probably deserved to be a goal up, and now they are, as that header over the bar. Right on the stroke of 20 minutes to play, here's Skovgaard. And that shot from Kupanesh tipped over. Skovgaard to deliver. Near post, up in the air. Headed away by Hohenhan. Haven't called his name yet today. Mograine to the near post. Again, Kupanesh. And Hollywood forced back just a little bit. Cormier trying to get around Voda, and does. End line cross. And that's headed just over by Dobra, who's looking for that second. Johnson cuts inside, takes the shot. Header battle ultimately settles with Dobra, who puts it up the pitch. Less than 10 to go, Hollywood hanging on to their lead fairly comfortably. Dobra. Back inside, Dia lays it off to Skovgaard. And that shot had a lot of sting taken out of it. As the time ticks down, Hollywood holding on, not really in any danger, one would think, as we enter 3 minutes of added time. But Shanghai, with perhaps one last chance, although they lose out to Kupanesh, and now Dobra brings it the other way. Hollywood looking to solidify this lead in the dying minutes. Cross goes in, but Takechi able to hold on and stop it. Shanghai need to get the ball up the pitch now if they want any hope of an equalizer. Long ball from Takechi. Headed down by Mograine. Hollywood in possession. Hohenhan with the press, but can't get the ball away. Johnson, though, does intercept. Johnson hugging the end line, puts the cross in, and that header from Hohenhan way off the mark. And time is more than likely going to run out as that ball goes long from Takechi. And indeed, the final whistle goes. Hollywood with a 1-0 win over Shanghai. Hard fought, well earned. Dobra with a bit of a chaotic goal, but a goal nonetheless. They all count the same here in the SSL. Dobra, your player of the match for Hollywood. Meanwhile, over on Shanghai, you have to give credit to Shingo Takechi. A great performance, was under fire for a lot of the match. Was, in the end, unfortunate to concede, but credit where it's due. A strong goalkeeping performance there. Just ultimately in a losing effort. Shanghai will be ruining their chance to pick up points. Meanwhile, Hollywood with a crucial win over a very good Shanghai team. So that will do it here for match day 3 here in Majors Division 1. Just time to recap the results real quick. Reykjavik 4-2 over Cosmico. Catalunya with that shocking 1-0 win over Sao Paulo. And Hollywood we just saw with a 1-0 victory over Shanghai. That moves Hollywood and Reykjavik level on 7 points. Hollywood just ahead on goal difference. Meanwhile at the bottom, Sao Paulo with a nightmare 3-from-3 start. They're going to have to figure something out quickly if they don't want to get drawn into a relegation battle. While still plenty of soccer left to play, it promises to be a very enthralling season. We hope you'll join us next time. Until then, this has been Metafiction. Take care.